Evening, everybody. It's Max Clausen, and today we're bringing you an update to the Dark World deck profile post Duelist Nexus. So, we didn't really get too many new things. We only got one card, a new spell called Dark Corridor, and that helps boost this deck's consistency just by a little bit. But, little fun fact, if you remember, Dark Corridor is actually an anime card that was revealed in GX, but we never got it, along with the new fusion. I just don't have the fusion right now. I'm not sure if it's out or, if it is, but I'll probably check after this video. So, without further ado, it's just going to be showing you guys the main and the extra. Not really going to show a side deck because, fun fact, I haven't thought of one yet. But when I do, if I take this to locals, I don't want people to know what I'm siding against. So, there's that. So, we're just going to show you what we got now. And if you enjoyed this, be sure to like, subscribe, and let's jump into this. So, for starters, we do still rock our 3 Rainbow and 2 Grapha, along with our 1 Silver. These are all the big Dark Worlds you play, and of course, once we do get our hands on the Fusion, we run our boy Rainbow. But, for a quick rundown of what we already know, constant recursion back to your field and to the hand, searches for either of these guys, and just, when discarded by an opponent, summon a level 4 or lower Dark World from your deck to your field or to your opponent's field. Grapha, just everybody should know what that does. Pop a card when sent to the graveyard, and bounce any Dark World monster back to your hand to summon it to the field as a summon condition. Silver is our hand loop card. Some people run him at 2. Right now, I just want to keep running him at the 1. I may go ahead and buy the second copy again, but for right now, just run into one of them because you don't want to brick on too many of these things if you don't have enough ways to discard them. Next, we do have the 3 Snow, the 3 Genta, and the 1 Ceruli. Snow gets you any of your Dark World cards. Genta gets you your field spell and can put himself on the board when he's banished once per turn. And Ceruli is pretty much your manipulation of your own hand via your opponent. So, all good cards. I have seen some builds run him at 2 now, but I would still want to see how the 1 goes because you can search him out at literally any point in time. That's all of the Dark Worlds. Now we go into the Danger side. For our Dangers, we have made some changes. So I rock the 1 Danger Nessie, the 2 Bigfoot. Yes, I still got the alternate art. I think this one's a little better. The 1 Thunderbird, the 2 Danger Mothman, the Chupacabra, and the Danger Jackalope. This is the ratio that I've decided to try and test out now. Nessie gets you any of your dangers. Bigfoot pops a card. Face up card rather. Thunderbird pops a set card. Mothman, I believe he gets you a monster. Yeah, he's the Dark World dealings for our deck. Chupacabra is kind of the same. You can summon a danger back from your graveyard, and Jackalope helps get any of these guys out. And they all share the effect that when they successfully summon, draw a card. So, pretty self-explanatory about them. Next, for our outside dark things, I do run the 2 Raiden. Just to help, if I go second, this just helps to clear an opponent's problematic monster. Simply because new Purelies are starting to see a really big recurgence. Didn't really see them last meta, but now we are. Purelies a thing. Kashtira still a thing. So having an in-deck out to those cards is really beneficial. Plus, it's a dark and a fiend, so it really just combos with your deck really pretty well. And I do still have the Necomane King, just because it's my own fun little tech idea that I just want to keep in here. until we get something a lot better. But while your fusion's on the field, they activate something, you change that to your opponent discards a card. Discard this, their turn immediately ends. So, it's a fun combo. If your opponent just doesn't know about it, they'll never respect it. So yeah, and I'd say give this card a try if you guys have it or not. Try getting a copy of it just to have, because this is a very old card that not many people can still have anymore. Really have anymore. That's it for that. Next up for the spells, you gotta run the 3 Gates of Darkworld. I have seen some builds run it at 2, and I kind of see the reason why, because you don't want to draw on it and not have enough things to banish. As you may have noticed, we're not playing Zephyr, the elite, the honorary Darkworld monster. So you can't really use this card 4 times. But, you want to see it because it is very important to your deck, and it helps boost all your fiend monsters. So gives them much more of a fighting chance against stuff. Next, we do run the 3 Allure of Darkness, because this whole deck is dark. Pretty self-explanatory. And now, fresh out of Duelist Nexus is 2 Dark Corridor, the anime card that finally sees the light of day. This card is ridiculous, and it's kind of what Dark World needed, guys. So, this essentially turns all your 3 ofs into 5s, and your 2 ofs into 4, so on and so forth. You can add a Dark World card to your hand, then discard 1 card. So, activate this, right? Search out Snow. Then I discard the Snow. Snow gets another search. And it just gets the ball rolling and rolling. This card is ridiculous. The only downside is, guys, just look at that. Just when the phone focus, look at that. You can only activate 1 Dark Corridor per turn. So Konami finally got the hint that non-hard once per turns are really crazy in Yu-Gi-Oh! And Dark World really sends that message hard. So this is one of the only in-archetype cards that does have the hard once per turn, which is, a bit blasphemy, but very deserved. Next, for the 2 ofs, I do decide to run the 2 trade-in, just because when I bounce my monsters back to my hand, i.e. Grapha and the Overlord, I sometimes don't have any way of getting them out of my hand, and I don't always want to just Allure of Darkness and banish them. So they're pretty much just free hand fodder, and plus Danger, Bigfoot, and Thunderbird are level 8, so they can get their effects with this card, because they just have to be discarded. Doesn't matter if it's for cost or effect. So yeah, I do recommend Dark World players play trade-in, because we have quite a few level 8s, so why not? Next, for the powerful 1-ofs, the 1 Tactics Talents that we can activate to hand whip our opponent, because they've activated Ceruli, and it's technically their monster. So there's that. I do decide to still play back the 1 Dark World Accession. Again, another card that you can play it too if you want to see it, but I just play 1 because you can see it literally anytime, and it can recur itself. The 1 Dark World Archives to help boost our monsters up, but we just use it for the draw 2 and then discard 1. The Powerful Hand Destruction, which is, just the pretty big card killer of this deck, and still got to flex out that it is still a magic card, so, old school for the win. And the 1 Call By, just to hit an opponent's problematic hand trap. Main enemy of this deck is Droll and Lockbird, so they hit you with that, our turn is pretty much over. But, that's when side decking comes, which you don't see now, because I don't have one for you. Except for the extra deck, by the way, a clean 40 for the main. Extra deck, 2 Grapha, modulate your opponent's card effects to discard a card to benefit you. And this other effect is just to revive your banished Dark World monster, I believe is that. We run the 1 Daenerys. It sucks how easily this card is a big choke point for Dark Worlds, because we want that draw 2 and discard. So yeah, that sucks. Next, for the next fiend is the Terribly Tired Baguska. For our rank 8s, we do still have the coach trainer for the free draw 3 and burn. And I decided to finally think about and throw in the Zombie Stein for a big beat stick monster. And also just for monster effect negation. Should you be able to get 2 level 8s on the field, which will have to induce some drawing effects. So if your opponent hasn't drilled you at that point, they will this card. Next up for our links, the Cross Sheep, the 1 Muckcracker to bring back our fiends, but lock us into fiends for the rest of the turn. The Security Dragon for the link arrows and to bounce stuff back. The Akashic Magician to also bounce stuff back, so both of these will help bounce Ceruli to get its effect. The Nightmare Phoenix to pop spell and traps. The Nightmare Unicorn to spin something back to the deck. And when these two are co-linked, you can draw an additional card. The 1 Appaloosa because we can make it. The 1 Nightmare Griffin to get our spells and traps back. And to make it so if anything our opponent has is not co-linked or just linked up in general, they can't activate their effects. And the 1 Saryuja because, these are just part of the combo. Well, that is going to be it for the Dark World Danger deck profile, rather. If you guys enjoyed this, another short, pretty short rendition of the Dark Worlds, be sure to give this video a like, subscribe to my channel for more content, and again, I got some other videos coming out for you guys. I wanted to get this one out to you because even though Dark Worlds only got the 1 support card, well, 2 if you count the fusion, it's still a pretty good deck. Like every other deck and like most other decks in this meta, that does lose heavily to Droll and Lockbird, so you do have to keep that in mind with this deck. But that's when side decking becomes a very crucial part of your game winning plan. So anyways, that's it for this, and I'll see you all in the next video.